Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome in to the East Bayfield Community Center for today's matchup between the Blue Water Hawks and the Barrie Sharks. My name is Josh McCann. Thanks so much for joining me here today on a Saturday afternoon. And for the Sharks, they're hoping to get back in the win column after a tough couple games. They lost both games last weekend to Leaside and Waterloo, and then they were back in action last night against the Stony Creek Sabres, losing that game by a score of 3-2. It was a highly eventful game early on as the Sharks and Sabres were tied at 2 after the first period. May Severn opening the scoring with a shorthanded goal, and then Sadie France getting a goal in the final second of the first period, a literal buzzer beater there for the Sharks. But after that, it was a tightly battled defensive-minded game, and the Stony Creek Sabres coming out on top of that one. The Sharks now sitting at 19-13-0 on the season, looking to get things back going here today against a Blue Water Hawks team that comes into today 13-18-2-2. Hawks are coming off a 5-1 loss last Sunday against the Burlington Barracudas. And this is their first game of the weekend as they have a back-to-back here. Before today they'll play the Sharks, and then tomorrow they head down to take on the Central York Panthers. For the Sharks, they have their game today, and then they finish out a 3-3 weekend here tomorrow afternoon at the East Bayfield Community Center with a matchup with the Oakville Hornets. Those two teams already faced off once this year. It was Oakville getting that win in a goaltending battle. The Sharks had 48 shots that game, but weren't able to find back of the net. Looking at our starting lineups for today's game. On defense for the Blue Water Hawks, number 27, Lillian Muldowney, and number 33, Hannah Alberg. At forward, number 3, Jamie Ryle, number 10, Zoe Morin, and number 16, Maggie Alcock. In net for the Blue Water Hawks will be number 72, Kayla Taff. Starting lineup for the Sharks: on defense, number 44, Kathleen Dion, and number 72, Annabella Cosgrave. At forward, El De Silva out of the lineup today. And starting for the starting three for the Sharks: at forward, number 82, Kate Stewart, number 9, May Severn, coming off a goal in last night's game, and number 7, Simone Swanson. In net for the Sharks is number 58, Riley Maxwell, getting the start today. Just about 2.5 minutes left here in warm-ups, and then we'll get set to go on a Saturday afternoon from the Shark Tank here. We continue on in the stretch run of the second half of the season. Now currently January 17th as of today. We are under 2 months away from the end of the regular season. Sharks, there's been some highs, there's been some lows, and obviously probably a bit frustrating going into today on a 3-game losing streak. So I'll be hoping for a big effort here today to get things back going. As of right now, the Sharks are 11th in the U22 elite standings. As for Blue Water, they currently sit in 17th place. set here to get underway. 20 seconds before the buzzer will sound, and then we'll get ready for some U22 elite action here, everybody. Well, welcome to the East Bayfield Community Center for today's matchup between the Blue Water Hawks and the Barrie Junior Sharks. Two teams looking to get back in the win column here today. The Sharks coming in losers of 3 straight and a loss last night, trying to turn that around. And for Blue Water, they're coming off a tough loss the last Sunday against the Burlington Barracudas. Riley Maxwell getting the start today for the Sharks is 8-7 on the air with a .927 save percentage. For Blue Water, it's Kayla Taft getting the start, 2-5-1 on the season with an .879 save percentage. Ryle and Stewart on the draw, and we are underway from the East Bayfield Community Center. It's the Hawks bringing it forward quickly. Ryle will send it in. Chasing after it is Morange. She's able to knock the puck off of Cosgrave, trying to center for Ryle. Puck goes back to the point, passed across quickly to Alberg, sent down low for Alcon. Alcock pinned to the boards by Cosgrave, now grabbed by Stewart. They'll go up the boards. Alberg able to keep it in the corner. Cosgrave takes down Ryle there. Puck comes back. Stewart sent across Dion and up ahead. Here goes May Severn. Severn coming off a goal in yesterday's contest against the Stony Creek Sabres. Actually had the first goal of the game. Here's Alberg working her way around Stewart, getting it into the zone. Grabbed there by Dion, deflected ahead by Harbeck. Open space for Larman. Sam Larman coming into the zone now. Sends it to the net. That's deflected by Thorne and over top. Rebound comes around for Richardson. Tried to send it back around. That was nearly intercepted by Larman. Back the other way. Doxtador gets it out. It'll go down the length of the ice and will be an icing. 18:55 to go. Winter and Van Bakel on the draw, won by Van Bakel. Minton behind her own net, trying to send it out. That's kept in the zone by Larman. Larman flips it down to the net. Doxtader gets there. It's down behind her own net. Grabbed there by Van Bakel, kept in the zone by 7. Larman trying to go back to the point, but that comes out of the zone. 7 across for Sonia Mehta. She has some room, gets it through the middle for Mally Winter. Here comes Winter into the zone, gonna dump it in and head off on a change. Chasing now is Wallace. Puck will come up the boards. Blue Water looking to go back out the other way where it's grabbed by Brumwell. Brumwell drops it back for Charette. Now will get it back. Pass across was nearly intercepted by Harmer. Puck comes to the middle and that's offside. Off the face-off, won by France. Shred across to Willard. That's chipped into the zone and on net, and Taff will grab it and hold with 18:04 to go. Bit of a slow start. Neither team have really had any good chances yet. And France and Bryn Belmore on the draw. Off the face-off, Wallace grabbing possession, gets it to the middle. That's intercepted by Beiser. Beiser tried to get it back, turned over center. France, a chance stopped by Taff. Good look there for Sadie France. Taff is able to make the save. Here's Charette, played forward. Wallace looking to tip it in. That's knocked down. Belmore gets it through the middle. That's intercepted by France. Target there was Morin. Here's France trying to get to the middle. That's blocked off. Grabbed there by Beiser, and the puck sent around for Schinner. Schinner up ahead for Morin. Morin will flip it in, down past Cosgrave in on that hard hit there for Charette. Penalty coming to the Hawks. Charette slowly trying to get back to her feet. Hopefully she's okay. Here's McKay working around, getting it into the zone. Maddie McKay down in the corner, pinned to the boards where it'll be touched by a Blue Water stick and will get the whistle. So there'll be Morin going to the box. 2 minutes is the call. Coach Dwayne Eldridge wants a conversation with the officials. So here we go. Sharks power play is underway. Cosgrave trying to send it to the net for McKay, but she was tied up there. It was by Muldowney. Puck down the corner now. McKay wrapping it around, bringing it out to the point for Cosgrave. Annabelle Cosgrave sends a shot from the net, stopped by Taff. Cross-checking is the call. Dwayne Eldridge still trying to get the attention of the head coach or the officials. Kate Stewart now talking with the officials, but Dwayne Eldridge still not able to get that word in that he wants. Face-off won by the Hawks. Doxtador around for Minton. That's flipped back down the other way. Riley Maxwell gets a touch on it. She'll leave it for Cosgrave. Cosgrave fighting off Ryle. Back around the boards. It gets past Severn, and Blue Water now going to drop it back and try and kill some clock here. Doxtador tried to quickly send it back the other way. That's intercepted. Cosgrave flips it into the zone. Grabbed by Richardson. she'll clear it right back out the other way. Dion across for Cosgrave. Back to the middle for Severn. Severn works around Van Bakel, gets it to Stewart. That's flipped into the zone and down behind the net. Schinner grabs it. It'll come back out the other way. Seven across for Meta. Sonia Meta coming to the middle, gets it across. Here's Larman. Larman looking for Meta. That's chipped down behind the net. 45 seconds left in the power play. Larman overskates it. Van Bakel looking to clear. That's kept in by Seven. Nice play at the point. She gets it down to the corner. Only one there is Schinner looking to clear, but again, Seven going to be able to keep it in. She finds Mallory Winter through the middle, takes a shot that goes over top of the net. Rebound Meta. Pinned to the boards alongside Thorne, who's looking to clear it. Puck knocked free, goes down to Sam Larman. Larman fighting off the defender there. Gets to the middle, working through a pair of Hawk defenders. Gets it back, a backhander, stopped by Taft. Rebound, Hawks looking to clear, and they will get it out. Seven quickly up ahead to Harbeck, right back into the Sharks. Final seconds of the power play. Harbeck shot denied by Taft. Rebound Belmore looking to clear, and she'll get it back down the other way. So Sharks power play 0 for 1 here in the early going. Meta for Willard. She'll get it out back the other way. Chasing is Muldowney. Definitely could have got a touch on it, so icing will be waved off. Muldowney around for Alberg. It comes past her. Blue Water looking to get it out. That's kept in the zone by France. France to Brumwell. Here's a chance blocked there by Alberg. Rebound comes back to the point for Dion. Dion to Taya Wallace. Wallace trying to get around Belmore. That's intercepted. Flip back out the other way. It will stay in play. And the Sharks will grab it in their own end. Here's Willard nearly taken down there in the corner by Harmer. Brumwell able to get it back out of the zone. Grabbed though by the Hawks. Alberg up ahead for Morehouse. Morehouse gets it into the zone. Chipped out back the other way. Now here come the Sharks. 2-on-2 back the other way into the zone. It's Brumwell with Wallace. Brumwell sends it to the net. That goes wide. Rebound comes out to Wallace. Tried to send it down low. That's intercepted by Morehouse. Comes around to the corner. Stewart pinned to the boards. Knocked free by Dockstedor. Goes to the middle. Morehouse chipped it forward. She wanted to go off the ice, but she's going to have to stay on as that is icing with 13:54 to go in the first period. Off the face-off, McKay trying to knock it down low. Foul for it. Keller trying to go back to the point. She's pinned to the board. Stewart knocks it free. Puck comes out to the point for Seven. She wasn't able to keep it in. Tried to chip it off the boards past Harmer, and it does eventually get to Keller. 3-on-2. Here's a chance deflected wide. Minton got a piece of that one. Here's Keller. Winding up, coming back to the point. Keeps it in the zone. Stewart lost her stick, or else she would have been wide open. Deflects off the boards. Here's Stewart to the middle. Gets it down low. One-timer. Keller denied by Taft. Rebound stopped as well. Couple good chances early here in the first for the Sharks. Keller out to the point. Here's Seven stepping up. She'll take a shot deflected and knocked down. Back the other way now. Here comes Blue Water. 13:09 to go. Alcock trying to send it in, and she will. Puck goes down around the boards. Here's McKay. McKay able to fight through Ryle. Gets it up ahead for May Severn. Severn works past Van Bakel into the zone. Here goes Severn. Has some speed. Knocked off the puck. And Taft is able to grab that one with 12:48 to go. Off the face-off, Swanson with it. Back to the point, gets past Willard, and a big collision with Richardson, and that one will be called. Willard trying to keep her from getting in on a breakaway. And the Blue Water Hawks will get their first power play of the afternoon. So first look at the Blue Water power play. The Sharks penalty kill did score a short-handed goal last night, so we'll have to see if that luck can carry over into today. Alberg a shot to the net. Stopped there by Maxwell. Off the face-off, puck comes out to the point for Beiser. She'll drop it back. Minton tried to take a shot, that was blocked. Olivia Minton, the leading point getter for the Hawks, despite being a defenseman. Puck down in the corner, back up to the point, Beiser sends it across. Minton, back to Beiser, gonna send it across. Maya Thorne was open, knocked down by Winter, trying to go back the other way, but Beiser able to keep it in the zone. Flipped across by Thorne and gloved there by Minton. She gives it right back to Thorne, sent across. No one was there. Richardson, it came up near the point. Knocked down, Richardson has it back, maybe a chance here. Richardson drives net, backhander denied by Maxwell. Nice save there. Here's Beiser, up on the point. Beiser across for Minton, back to Beiser. She'll come through the middle, sent across. Here's Richardson. Richardson gonna come out to the middle. Thought about dropping it back, she'll keep it on her stick. Now she plays it back. Minton a chance, knocked down, puck's loose. Hawks jam away at it, and it's deflected back to the point. Here's Beiser. Sharks yet to get a clear. Here's a one-timer from Minton, stopped by Maxwell, and she'll dive on it. And a little bit of rough stuff in front as the Hawks aggressively coming after Maxwell there for the rebound. 11:24 to go in the opening period. 44 seconds left in the Blue Water power play. Face-off won by Blue Water. Puck comes back to the point. Beiser tried to send it across for Minton, but that's going to come out of the zone. Beiser up ahead. Sent in by Carnochan. There's Cosgrave around the board. Swanson got a piece of it, but it remains in the zone. Puck knocked down. Trying to send it back to the point. Here's Minton. Sent across to Alberg. Alberg steps up, gets it back. Minton. Cross to Alberg. Tried to take a shot. That was blocked by Seven. Rebound Alberg on the point, waiting, shooting, stopped by Maxwell, and the whistle. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Puck comes back to the point, here's Alberg. Sent across, now back, Alberg takes the shot, deflected, and it's stopped there by Maxwell. So we're back 5-on-5. Alberg takes a shot, save made by Maxwell, and a whistle. 10:34 to go in the first period. Off the face-off, Meta around for Keller. Keller flipped forward for Harbeck. That got past her and sent down the other way. Alberg sent around and played forward to Alcock. Alcock across to Morin. Tried to drop it back to the point. Kept in, flipped down to the corner. Morin to the middle for Alcock. That's intercepted. Puck comes back to the point. Alberg a blast. That was blocked by Harbeck. And the puck will go to the corner. Here's Meta up ahead, tipped out back the other way by Keller. And grabbed there by Alberg. Her pass, though, missed in the corner. Here's Brumwell getting it to Keller. Trying to go back to the point. Cosgrave. Flip down to the corner. Muldowney. Trying to get it out of the zone. That's kept in. Here's Brumwell. Brumwell on the point. Trying to step up. She'll wait. Trying to fight off the pressure of Thorne. Collision there. Grabbed by Blue Water. Comes to the middle. Wallace was nearly able to get an opportunity there. Puck comes up to the point. Grabbed there by Alcock and sent back the other way. Dion across for Brumwell. Ahead for Wallace. That's deflected into the zone. Getting there first will be Richardson. Plays the head for Thorne. Trying to get it past Cosgrave. Puck comes to the middle. Back out the other way. Richardson has Ryle with her. Richardson tried to drive the net. Working around Dion. Taken down. And was able to draw a penalty there. And the Hawks are going right back to the power play. Kathleen Dion is the guilty party here. Tripping is the call. Off the face-off, Minton. Cross for Beezer. Beezer to Minton. Gets it across. Here's a chance for Harmer that was blocked. Minton down low, Harmer. Back to the point, Minton. Sends it across. User steps up, sends it to the middle. That was broken up. Deflects to the net and wide of Maxwell. Van Bakel back out to the point now. Minton steps up. Trying to get it down to the corner for Harmer. She's putting it pinned to the boards. Now grabbed by Meta. Sent up the other way. Kept in the zone. Grabbed by Meta now, and she'll send it back out the other way. Minton going to reset behind her own net here. 1:15 left in the power play. Already our third power play of the period. 2 for Blue Water, 1 for the Sharks. Van Bakel into the zone. Getting it to the middle. That's knocked down. Sharks looking to quickly go back the other way. It's Jenny Keller. 12 goals, 24 points on the season. The Sharks leading point getter. Trying to work into the zone, but that was broken up. Morin fights off. Keller drops it back. Grabbed, played across to Schinner and sent into the zone. Lillard off the board, sent back down the other way. Dockstader gets it ahead. That's into the zone now. Cosgrave trying to get around. France turned over. Here's a chance for Blue Water. Schinner steps up, takes the shot wide of the net. Rebound comes out the other side, back to the point. Dockstader laying it down low. It's a chance out front there for Morehouse. That one over top. 12 seconds left. Severn looking to send it back out the other way. It deflects to Sadie France. France one-on-one into the zone. Beats the defender. Knocked off the puck though. What a play there by Dockstader. Puck flipped ahead. Dion out of the box. We're back 5-on-5. Puck goes down to the corner. Here's Meta. Meta gets it out, going back the other way. Meta has some speed. She'll get into the zone, trying to work around the defense. Meta chips it back to the point for France. City France taking a shot. Save there made by Taff with 6:35 to go. Sharks have 6 players out there right now. So Sam Larman will skate off. Here's a chance. Harbeck to the net, stop. Rebound, Stewart. Fights off Alberg, gets it out to the point for Meta. Meta looking for Swanson. Goes down to the corner. Muldowney is there for Blue Water. Harbeck trying to knock it free. Deflected up ahead. Thorne can't get to it. Meta's got it. She'll take a shot. Save made by Taff. Rebound comes loose to the Sharks. Swanson back to the point. Meta. Now Swanson. Backhand it down to the corner. Stewart. Pinned to the boards. 5:56 to go here in the opening frame. Belmore trying to come around. Stewart knocks that one down. Swanson to Stewart. Back to Swanson. She has space. Takes a shot and Taft just got enough of that one. Here's Alberg. Trying to bring it back the other way. Played ahead to Thorne. Thorne sent across. Here's a chance now maybe. Here's a shot from Richardson. That goes over top of the net. Back the other way. 7. Played ahead to Harbeck. Blue Water player there. That was Beezer. Took a tumble into the boards. That deflects off a defender. Trying to work her way in there was Harmer. Knocked down. Ryle tried to send it across. Had Morin breaking in. But the Sharks will go back the other way. Wallace tried to come to the middle. That's broken up. The other way. Ryle pushes it back down the other way. Cosgrave around the boards for Brumwell. Brumwell played forward. Winter. 2-on-2 into the zone, but that's offside. With 4:54 to go in the first period. Still looking for our first goal of the game. Had a fair share of special teams action so far, but neither team able to capitalize. Off the face-off, Kathleen Dion. Comes back into her own end, trying to push it forward. That's intercepted, sent back the other way by Alcock. Cosgrave up the wing. Kept in for a moment now out of the zone. Keller trying to catch up to it. Grabbed by Minton, knocked down, turned over. Breakaway, Jane Keller all alone. Stopped by Taft. Rebound stopped as well. Sharks jamming away at it. And whistled down, a penalty coming. I think this one is going against the Hawks for cross-checking. France got knocked down from behind. It'll be Skylar Dockstader going to the box. So the Shark power play is 0 for 1 today, and they're going to have to start outside the zone here on this face-off. Off the face-off, here's 7. Fights off the pressure from behind. Keller coming to the middle, battling there. Keller drops it back. 7. Cross for Meta. Played to the middle. 7. Sharks trying to work into the zone. McKay up the wing. Fights her way through 1. McKay gets it across. Keller's open. Center for McKay. Broken up. She had an open net, but her shot was blocked. Great look there for the Shark power play. Meta fights off the pressure. Gets it back to the point for Keller. Keller across, 7, steps up, drops it back. Minute 24 to go. Keller's down low. McKay puts it out front. One-timer. Keller scores! First one-timer broken up. Second one strikes. Barry on the board first. It's a power play goal for Jenny Keller. 1-0 for the Sharks. So for Jenny Keller, that's her 13th goal of the season. This one coming on the power play. And the Sharks, they have the opening goal of this game. It took these two teams a combined 4 power plays to get our first goal of the game. Here's Beezer. Sent up ahead, Harmer. Backhanded into the zone. Willard knocked down. Stewart trying to backhand it ahead. That's broken up. Morehouse behind the net. McKay and France will get the assist. Back to the point. Thorne gets it down low. Backhanded to the net. Knocked down. And Maxwell will make the save with 3:10 to go. Off the face-off, puck goes down to the corner. Comes around, 7 up ahead to Larman. It's intercepted, Richardson broken up by 7. Back the other way, 7 through the middle. Gets it across, and that's offside with 2:53 to go. .253 remaining in the first period. Just a minute ago, it was Jenny Keller opening the scoring. Off the face-off, Minton's pass ahead was deflected by Harbeck. 7, looking for Larman, collision there. Minton across for Dockstader. Goes in and down into the corner. Cosgrave, cross for 7. 7 up ahead for Larman. Trying to go back across for Harbeck. It does reach and is sent into the corner. Down behind the net. Richardson now able to grab it for Blue Water. She'll drop it back for Minton. Minton across for Dockstader. Right back, Olivia Minton. Coming through the middle for Richardson. That's deflected into the zone. She'll have to wait for her teammates to catch up off the line change. Meta sends Richardson into the boards, and it's grabbed by Wallace. Cosgrave couldn't get it past Morin. Down behind the net, Sonia Meta. Fighting off the pressure from behind, gets it around to Cosgrave. Cosgrave, stretch pass for Wallace. She can't get it to her, but she's going to be first there to beat the icing. Wallace working her way around. She got upended there by Alberg. Puck will come up the wing. Sharks able to keep it in. Meta to the middle, working her way around. Sonia Meta looking for a shot. That got deflected, nearly ended up on Francis' stick. Back the other way, here goes Morin. Flip to the middle, nearly had Ryle there for a break. Here's Willard. Up ahead, knocked down. And into the zone. Here's Alcock. Chance that goes Over top. Got down to the corner. Trying to put it out front. It's knocked down. Now back to the point for Schinner. She'll take the shot. That's broken up. Meta flipped ahead, back the other way. Keller's going to be first to the puck this time. Icing waved off. Final minute of the first period. Keller for McKay. Up the wing, down low now Keller. Jenny Keller working her way around, and a puck got in the official skates. Now Keller looking to center for Stewart. Knocked down, comes back to the point. Cosgrave for Dion. Her shot blocked. Rebound flipped ahead. Grab now by Blue Water. Bees are off the boards into the zone. Cosgrave is there. Grabs it to Keller. Over across Dion. Up ahead. Knocked down by the Hawks. Back the other way. Cosgrave. Sent across for Keller. She'll play it forward. McKay trying to work it into the zone with 20 seconds to go, and we'll get a whistle here. Off the face-off, puck knocked out of the zone. Here's Dockstader. Back in their own end, sent across for Minton. Final rush here for Blue Water as they look to tie the game before the break. Richardson's pass knocked down by Severn. They'll go into the boards there as they battle for it. And time will expire here on the opening frame. So a lot of power plays, only one goal. It's Jenny Keller on the power play, and Barrie Sharks will take a 1-0 lead into the second period. But first off, we're going to take a quick break here. welcome back here to the East Bayfield Community Center for the second period of this one between the Blue Water Hawks and the Barrie Sharks. It's the Sharks with the advantage so far. 1-0 is your score. Jenny Keller with a power play goal. I'll send a thank you to the Blue Water parent that handed me a nice note to help me with a couple of pronunciations. So hopefully all the Blue Water names are said correctly now. Been working for two different teams here in Barrie, the Sharks and the Colts. With the OHL, we get this big media guide with all the name pronunciations for all the players, but here it's just hoping you get it right, and hopefully most of them are done right now. Shout out to all the Blue Water fans that happen to be watching the stream today. So as of right now, we're 1 minute 23 left here in the intermission before we get things back underway between the Hawks and the Sharks. Two penalties apiece in the first period. Blue Water killed off the initial Sharks power play of the game, and then Blue Water got a pair of power plays in a row and weren't able to convert on those. And the Sharks came right back to their second power play of the game, and they were able to capitalize on that. It was initially Maddie McKay looking for a one-timer, but it was blocked before she could get it to the net. And then after that, puck came out of the zone. McKay came back in, sent it for Jenny Keller on the one-timer to open the scoring. Shots on goal after the first period, 15-9 in favor of the Sharks. And they look to keep that pace of 15 shots a period up here in the second. Kathleen Dion up on the wing, May Severn back on defense. Maybe a bit of strategy here coming from the Sharks as Stewart trying to hit it forward to Severn. And we're back underway. Morin and Swanson go down into the boards. Foul for it. Stewart drops it back. Cosgrave playing it up ahead for Severn. She'll get it into the zone, then knocked down. Coming out to the point, Dion. Kick to the corner for Severn. Severn in the corner, intercepted by Morin. Belmore trying to get it out, kept in the zone by Dion. Dockstader on the board, sent up ahead by Muldowney, and it's out back the other way. Maybe a 2-on-1 here for the Hawks. Belmore up the wing, tried to send it across, knocked down by Dion. Rebound chance, slapped up ahead. There's Cosgrave, getting it out. Swanson back the other way, 2-on-2. Into the zone, Swanson for Stewart, gets it to the middle. May Severn got around Alcott, but failed on the shot. Rebound Stewart, trying to put it out front for Larman, that was knocked down. And back the other way goes Ryle. Jamie Ryle into the zone, works around Larman. Sent into the boards by Seven. All for it, Seven knocks it out, gets it to Meta. Meta coming through the middle for Mallory Winter. Winter now coming up the wing, gets it in through the zone. Here comes Winter, fights off the pressure, takes the shot, save made, rebound. Stopped as well. Larman on the doorstep there looking for the rebound. We're getting a player on late. Bit of confusion now here on the face-off. Puck comes to the middle. Harbeck tried to backhand it down to Winter. That's intercepted. Back the other way comes Harmer. Harmer floats it into the zone past Seven. Now trying to catch up to it though. Grabbed by Meta. Couldn't get it around. That was knocked down. Sharks were able to flip it back the other way down the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Beezer. On the boards. Puck comes to the middle. Nice pass there by Morehouse. Puck remains though in the blue water end. Here's Francis Space. Takes the shot. Stopped by Taft. Rebound comes free to Harmer. Back the other way. Harmer gets it out of the zone, and that's Adrielle Charette back out there on the ice. Good to see her return. Water official not pleased with something there. Still yelling at the official. Face off one by the Sharks. One-timer Charette. That goes wide of the net. Here's Wallace. Back to the point. Willard. Tried to send it across. Knocked down. Harmer looking to go back the other way. Charette trying to knock it down. Comes Harmer into the zone. Puck comes behind the net. Charette looking to get a tap on it. Collided there with Van Bakel. Puck sent ahead for Wallace. Gets it to the middle. France. Deflected to Brumwell. Brumwell into the zone. France taken down. Was able to get the puck still to Wallace. Comes out to the point. Cosgrave keeps it in. Looking for a shot. That was blocked. Rebound attempt out to France. She has space. Takes the shot. Deflected over top. Rebound out to Richardson, backhanded ahead. Keller gets in front of Thornton to intercept that one, but then her attempt to send it into the zone was broken up. Jenny Keller gets it back in the neutral zone, gives off for McKay. Tried to go across for the open Stewart, but that was intercepted and floated back out the other way by Van Bakel. Dion tried to send it ahead. That's broken up by Minton. Sharks were able to keep it in the zone, deflects to the middle. Grabbed by Dockstador. Cosgrave across for Dion. Up ahead, Keller. Sent across for McKay. Okay, collision there with Oliver. That's going to be a penalty. Head contact is the call. Four-minute penalty here, and the Sharks will have a huge power play opportunity. Oliver going to the box. 4 minutes for head contact. Shark power play 1 for 2 on the evening. Meta steps up getting the puck. Backhanded across. Here's 7. Played down low. Stewart drops it back to the point. 7. Sent across. Meta. Sonia Meta. Cross for 7. That comes out of the zone. Here's Meta. Getting it into the zone. Sonia Meta working around Muldowney, getting it down behind the net. Here's Meta coming out to the point. Waiting, Meta gets it to the middle now. Keller, already with a goal today. It did also come on the power play. Keller, from behind the net, she'll bring it around. Jenny Keller still possession, gets it out to the point. Meta. Sonia Meta changes sides with Keller, gives it to McKay. Back to Meta. Meta takes the shot, deflected by Stewart and up over top of the net. Rebound from Muldowney, trying to clear, kept in the zone by Keller. 7 to Stewart, that's broken up. Elmore off the boards and out back the other way. First minute of that penalty killed off. Here's 7 up ahead to Severn. Off her stick, maybe an opportunity here, broken up. Blue Water player lost her sticks or glove there, back the other way. Swanson for Severn, trying to work around the defense and a collision there. Severn and Dockstador going to the net, and then Severn taken down from behind. And we'll have to see if there's any penalties coming out of this one. Looks like they'll get the net figured out, get everyone calmed down, and then we'll get back to action here. Off the face-off, Dock State are able to clear. Here's Dion. 2:30 to go in the power play. She plays it up ahead for May Severn. Severn has space. Cutting to the middle. Severn takes the shot. May got a piece of that one. Rebound, Minton. Severn tried to get it out front. Intercepted. Clearing attempt kept in by Dion. Good work there by the Sharks defender. Swanson across. Charette putting it to the middle. Knocked down. Severn trying to battle. Let's deflect it to the corner. Ryle able to keep it in. Back to the point. Dion for Severn. Severn looking to the middle. That's intercepted by Alcock. Works around Severn. Now back the other way. Some space. Short-handed. Here's Alcock to the middle. Takes the shot. That's deflected over top. Maggie Alcock coming up to the point. Sends it back down the other way. Armour in there trying to knock it free. Sharks may have a break here. Keller up ahead from McKay. Here comes Maddie McKay sneaking in behind the defense all alone. Backhander scores! Maddie McKay sneaks behind the defense. It's another power play goal for the Sharks, and they extend their lead to 2-0. So for Maddie McKay, that's her 8th goal of the season. This one coming on the power play. There was 1:35 left in the double minor, so it is now back to 5-on-5. Meta sends Richardson into the boards. Puck goes down behind the net. Willard battling with Thorne. France trying to play it ahead. Now knocks it free. Grabbed by Meta. Sharks looking to go back the other way. Meta taken down, but from her knees is able to play it ahead. Larman for Harbeck into the zone. Takes the shot. Stopped by Taff and a whistle. And Blue Water players again quickly getting the Sharks out of their crease. Puck goes down behind the net. Minton gets it up ahead. Back the other way. Comes Belmore. She'll send it into the zone down behind the net. Grabbed by Willard. Grabbed by Stewart now. She'll play it ahead for Wallace. Back out the other way. Going to be numbers for the Sharks. Wallace has Meta coming through the middle. Sonia Meta in. Gets past the defense. Scores! Sonia Meta sneaks it home past the netminder. And the Sharks have added on. It's 3-0 here in the second. Great work by the Sharks there. Wallace realizing Meta had a beat there on the defender. Able to play it to her and get it forward for the breakaway. 3-0 for the Sharks off of Meta's 6th goal of the season. 7 across for Cosgraves. The Sharks look to continue that on. Brumwell trying to play it ahead. Intercepted. And back the other way comes Blue Water. Sent into the zone. Grabbed by 7, turned over, chance out in front for the Hawks, then goes off the post. Hit Maxwell, then the crossbar, and up over top. Schinner plays it down behind the net. 7 sends it ahead. Wallace was trying to sneak out the other way. Stewart gets it into the zone. Blue Water with the puck. Back the other way, Ryle taken down by Stewart, penalty coming. Ryle still has Stewart's stick. Harmer working around 6-on-5. Puck comes in behind the net. Thorne is there first. Blue Water trying to get back into the game. Maul Downey sent across. Alberg steps up. She'll take a shot. That's blocked. Puck loose. Deflected back to the point. Alberg sent down to the corner. Got past Morehouse. Sharks yet to touch. Now they will. With 11:54 to go. And Blue Water will get another power play here. Kate Stewart to the box for a trip. So this Blue Water power play 0 for 2 on the evening. It's a huge power play here, down by 3. A chance to shift the momentum and get back in this game. Richardson, tons of space, steps up and shoots, but she missed over top of the net. Great look there for Blue Water. Beezer sending it across. Richardson's open again. She'll send it down low, looking for Morehouse, who was nearly able to bank it off Maxwell. Now a one-timer, Minton sent wider than that. Beezer up on the blue line. Sent across for Minton. Richardson has space, sending it to the net again. Just missed there. Thorne was coming through the middle looking for a deflection. Here's Beezer to Thorne. Good puck movement here from Blue Water. Puck on the point. Beezer to Minton. Drops it back. Here's Beezer sending it to the net. Deflected there by Morehouse, but Maxwell able to make the save. Richardson collides with the official, but then gets it back to the point. Beezer across. Minton to the middle again. Beezer down low. Looking for Richardson. Richardson going to bring it out. She switched sides here now. She'll come back over. Here's Richardson. Got some space. Steps up. Takes a shot. Deflected and in the net. A power play marker here for Blue Waters. Made it a 2-goal game. And that is Charlotte Richardson getting the power play goal. It's been a game of special teams here this afternoon. So Richardson on the power play for her 11th goal of the season, and the Sharks lead now at 3-1. And yes, it is 3-1 for those just joining us. I did forget to change it from 2-3 there. Here's McKay, a chance. That's blocked. Oh, and I forgot to start the clock. That's great. Back the other way. Here goes Blue Water. Muldowney trying to send it across. Intercepted by Keller. They'll get it into the zone. There's actually 10:21 to go, not 10:37. We'll get that fixed at the next whistle. Here's Dion. Up ahead for McKay. Intercepted. Here's Alcock. Maybe another chance. Stopped by Maxwell. And a whistle with 10 to go. Riley Maxwell debuting a new goalie mask here today. That saw the Sharks post on their social feed earlier in the week. And Ava Storr got the start yesterday. Had a solid game. And then now today, Maxwell gets a chance to showcase the new mask. Here's a turnover. Harmer. Down low behind the net. Belmore trying to knock it free. Harmer back to the point. Flip down low. Harmer to the middle. Belmore backhander. That goes wide. Rebound Larman. Trying to send it ahead for Stewart. It's in her skates. They'll get it ahead. Playing it across for Harbeck. That's knocked down. Broken up. Stewart ahead, intercepted, right back the other way. Here comes Harmer, trying to give off for Belmore, back the other way. Here comes Seven, maybe some space here. Piper Seven gets it into the zone. Now Sam Larman, the trailer, steps up, takes the shot, stopped by Tav, who was able to fight that one off. Rebound Seven, down low for Larman. Pinned to the boards by Beezer. Larman knocked it down, trying to get it out front for Harbeck. Here's Minton, played across for Thorne. 9:12 to go here in the second period. Already 3 goals this period, 2 for the Sharks, 1 for Blue Water. Has us at a score of 3-1, as that will be icing with 9:04 to go. Off the face-off, Sharks get it out front for Brumwell, and that goes wide. Rebound Wallace, gives to Charette. Charette to the middle, that's broken up. Puck goes down low. Winter tried to get it out front. And that goes back to the point. Here's Willard. Gabby Willard back to the point, sent across. One-timer Charette, deflected up in the air. Sharks trying to knock it down. I think that definitely would have been a high stick if it had gone in. Here's Belmore. Off the boards, kept in the zone by Charette. Put down behind that centering pass there. Comes free. Here's Winter, a chance save. Rebound loose. Sharks jamming away at it. Puck came out loose. Blue Water able to get on to it. Minton now sending it ahead. It kicks off of Willard and back to Dion. Kathleen Dion up ahead from Mallory Winter. Winter into the zone. Waits, has room to go to the middle, and that was sent wide. Rebound came out in front there. Nearly another chance for Winter. Pass across for Cosgrave. Had to be careful with a Blue Water player closing in from behind. Here goes Richardson. Only goal scorer so far for Blue Water. Here's a chance stopped by Maxwell. Down goes to the corner, tipped ahead by Cosgrave, kept in the zone, but intercepted by Dion. Now back the other way, maybe a chance. Tipped forward by Wallace, and Severn couldn't get it on her stick. I think she might have also thought she was offside. Here's Alberg. Played ahead, turned over. Severn, nice move to get to France. Here's a chance, and just missed that one. Rebound sent down the other way, potentially icing. Doesn't have enough. Just barely. Swanson had to play it right before. Dion couldn't get it past Richardson. Now it's out, back the other way. France for Severn. Chip it through, intercepted. Richardson on it again. Sent across. That's tipped forward by Ryle, in on net. Maxwell just going to grab it and hold with 7:11 to go. Bit more rough stuff. It's been a bit of a chippy one here this afternoon. Blue Water have 6 players on the ice right now, so they'll have to figure out who needs off, and then now we're ready to go again. Off the face-off meta, that's going to deflect, and a nice catch there on the Blue Water bench. So we'll do that all over again. The boards meta sends it around. It gets past McKay and out of the zone. Muldowney going to send it right back in for Blue Water. And that's whistled down. Sure what happened there. It's coming to center ice, so I wonder if maybe the one official thought it was icing. But anyway, we're ready to get back underway off the face-off. Blue Water with possession. Sent into the zone. This time we're all good. Van Bakel pinned to the boards by Meta. 6:47 to go. Puck comes around to 7. Up ahead, Keller. Jenny Keller across. Stewart working it over to McKay. And McKay spins back, drop down to the corner. Behind the net, Stewart. Keller knocks it free. Keller coming up to the point, sent down low. McKay to the middle. Here's Keller, a chance. That goes wide. Rebound. Meta stepping up, puts it out front. Taft got a piece of that one. Rebound, collision there. Players still down there. Muldowney and Meta in the corner. Puck comes around to Stewart. Stewart works around, puts it out front for Meta. Couldn't get it free, then she was nearly able to spin out and get a chance, but it'll come out of the zone. 7 across to McKay, drop back to 7. 5:48 to go here in the second period. If you're just joining us, we have 3 power play goals here today. 2 for the Sharks, 1 for the Blue Water. 1 goal in the first period. It was Jenny Keller opening the scoring, and then the Sharks would add a pair in a matter of minutes. Maddie McKay and Sonia Meta early in the second period. Blue Water would get a power play, and it was Charlotte Richardson responding with her 11th of the season. And that has us at a 2-goal game here, so a big next 5 minutes to decide where we stand going into the third period. I'm sure Blue Water would love to make it a 1-goal game. Battle for it, Harbeck sending it to the net. Larman a deflection. And stopped by Taft with 5:20 to go. And on the Sharks side, probably wanting to have one more to put Blue Water in a bad spot going into the third period. Obviously, a 3-goal lead isn't safe, but 2-goal lead, and Blue Water gets an early one. All of a sudden, it's a 1-goal game, and I'm getting nervous, but 3 goals does give you a bit of room. Here's Willard, backhanded into the zone. Beezer is there. Nearly turned over, now sent out the other way. Gabby Willard trying to go through the middle, knocked down there by Harmer. She'll flip it into the zone, chasing after it is Ryle. Willard up ahead, Harbeck. Harbeck gets it out the other way. That's knocked down. Battle for it. Alberg couldn't get to it. Schinner was right behind her, though. Schinner fanned on that one. Now she'll get it back, deflected by Brumwell. Nearly went out of play, but remains in. Sharks trying to make some changes. Back the other way. Here comes Harmer. Harmer gets into the zone, coming up the wing, puts it to the middle for Ryle, deflected. And that goes wide of the net. Back the other way. Brumwell up ahead for Wallace. Missed her. No, it got deflected, so it won't be icing. Alberg turns it over. Here's Taya Wallace, putting it to the middle for Brumwell. That's intercepted. Richardson gets it back for Blue Water. Flipped out the other way. Dion couldn't keep it in. Grabbed now by Brumwell, right back in. Abby Brumwell takes the shot, stopped by Taft. Brumwell collects her own rebound, brings it up to the point for Dion. Dion to Wallace, sent to the net, deflected and stopped. Rebound Brumwell over to Cosgrave. She'll try and take a shot, blocked by Richardson. Rebound Dion stepping up. Schinner intercepted. Thorne gets it across, back the other way. Alberg to Richardson into the zone. Charlotte Richardson got the most recent goal to make it a 2-goal game. Puck comes out back the other way. 2-on-2. Severn has Taya Wallace with her. And Severn coming to the middle. Still has possession, but then got knocked off her stick from behind by Richardson. Then her and Muldowney collide there. Two of them exchanging words. Here's Severn. Sent back the other way. Icing waved off. France chasing. Sharks have to watch Blue Water making a change there from behind. Severn gets it down behind the net. Oxtater. Knocked down. Swanson. They'll get it back for the Sharks. Swanson trying to work around. Intercepted by Morehouse. Morin trying to catch up to it. Stewart able to hold the line. There's Severn. Looking for a shot. Deflects up in the air. And Taft's able to grab that one with 2:46 to go in the second period. These are turned over. Maybe a chance here for the Sharks if McKay can work it around, but the net had came off, so we'll have to reset. Conversation, with the Blue Water goalie, and it resulted in the face-off coming outside the zone. Dwayne Eldridge wondering the reasoning for that is. He seemed all right with his answer. Here's Keller getting it into the zone, trying to work around Van Bakel. Puck will come around. Meta able to come forward. Shark player got dumped there into the boards. Here's McKay working around. McKay taken down. Penalty coming now to Blue Water as the Hawks head back to the box, and the Sharks will get a power play. Kate Stewart is down in the offensive zone, so they're going to have the trainer come out here to attend to her. Her leg as Keller is going to help her off. So the officials having a discussion. There was a Blue Water player beside Stewart when she got taken down there. I'm not sure if Stewart slipped or if there was a collision of any kind. But no matter what, this game has not been friendly to the Sharks. Here today, Adriel Charette was able to return. Glad to see that, but so the Sharks power play is 2 for 3 on the afternoon, and they're looking to go right back to work to get another goal here. Here's a chance. Charette deflected him wide. Marmon sent across for Dion. Dion back across Charette, and that apparently came out. 2:04 to go in the second period. Discussion there at the Blue Water bench, and now got a whistle. I think we're getting a penalty against the Sharks. Bench minor. Dwayne Eldridge still not happy with what happened in the play prior. So we're going to go 4-on-4. City France is going to serve the penalty. So it'll be a minute 46, 4-on-4, and then 14 seconds of a Blue Water power play. Hawks are 1 for 3 on the power play. Sharks are now 2 for 4. Puck down behind the net. Dion for McKay. Back the other way. McKay turned over. Here comes Harmer back the other way. Hawks given new life here to try and make this a 1-goal game. The Sharks are going to go back out. Here's McKay into the zone, gives off. Jenny Keller takes the shot, scores! What a shot from Jenny Keller going upstairs, her second of the night, and it's 4-1. Two goals for Keller brings her to 14 on the season, and the Sharks lead now up to 3. Adrielle Charette takes the tumble there. Back across. Flipped over to Minton. Minton gets around McKay, back the other way. Olivia Minton working into the zone, drops it back. Dog fitter to the middle. Here's Thorne, a chance, save Maxwell, rebound loose. Dion able to clear it out to the point. Belmore sent across. Looking for Minton. That does remain in the zone. Flip down to the corner for Belmore. Knocked down by Charette. Behind the net. Belmore gets it out. Tried to go to the point. Intercepted by Keller. And back the other way comes Keller and McKay again. 2-on-2 into the zone. That goes wide of the corner. Final minute here of the second period. Minton works her way around Severn. Back the other way. Minton up ahead for Thorne and knocked into the zone. Here's 7. Up ahead for May Severn. Back the other way. 30 seconds left. Here's a chance. Stopped by Taff and a whistle. 30 seconds to go. 12 seconds left in the Blue Water penalty, and then 27 left in the Shark penalty. And then we'll be back 5-on-5 for just 3 seconds here in the second period. Off the face-off. Here's 7 on the point. 7 to Severn. Spins back, works to the middle. Here's Severn, a chance, stopped by Taff. Good look there for May Severn. Richardson played across. Schinner right back to Richardson. 10 seconds to go. Now a power play for Blue Water. Richardson into the zone. And we're now back 5-on-5. Muldowney, one final chance. Takes the shot. Save Maxwell. Rebound loose. Blue Water jamming away. It'll go to the corner. And that will do it for the second period of play. It was an eventful one. 4 goals, including 3 for the Sharks. It was Maddie McKay opening the scoring in the period, followed by Sonia Mehta and Jenny Keller getting her second of the night. Keller and McKay have combined for 3 of the goals, and they each have an assist on each other's goals tonight. One more period coming up here from the East Bayfield Community Center after we take a quick break. for one last period between the Barrie Sharks and the Blue Water Hawks, barring a Blue Water comeback, of course, then we would have an extra period, but as of right now, it's 4-1 in favor of the Sharks. Just a warning, I do got to get out of here very quickly after this game ends, so right as the final buzzer goes, we'll say thanks and goodbye, and it won't be like a regular post-game 2 to 3 minute recap, but just to keep you up to date, the Sharks do play tomorrow against Oakville, a regular 2 p.m. start here at East Bayfield Community Center, so either come on down to the Shark Tank or tune in live on YouTube. For Blue Water, they are on the road again tomorrow playing the Central York Panthers, like every team that comes into Barrie on a Saturday seems to do. It's usually how it works. You play Saturday in Barrie, Sunday in Central York, and then you go back home. Sharks looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. Blue Water coming off a loss of their own in the last game. You're good, don't worry. Oh, don't do that. Game's starting. Well, anyway, we have a young hockey team in the house here today, and they were very excited, wanting to wave to all the fans tuning in here today, but we'll get back to game action here as we're underway for the third period between the Sharks and the Hawks. Puck comes up the boards. Morin trying to get it past Cosgrave. That's intercepted. Harbeck looking for Severn, and that's broken up. Ball Downey back in her own end, sending it across for Alberg. Alberg looking for Morin. Puck comes to Ryle, now back the other way. Here comes Blue Water into the zone. Alcock knocked off the puck by Dion, deflected out of the zone. And Blue Water will regroup. Sent in, Cosgrave is there. That's turned over, puck comes to the middle. Maybe a chance there for Alcock, but it goes just wide. Rebound, Winter broken up. Ryle's got it now for Blue Water. Dockstader sent down to the corner behind the net for Alcock. She's taken down from behind from Dion. Here's Swanson getting it out of the zone. Minton across, Dockstader into the zone. Getting it down on net, stopped by Maxwell. Grabbed by Dion, she'll play it ahead. Wallace looking for Harbeck, who thought about heading off on a change and then couldn't get the puck back. Back the other way, here comes Blue Water backhanding it into the zone is Belmore. Puck goes down behind the net. Charette off the boards for Wallace and deflected ahead by Winter. Beezer trying to get it back the other way. That's intercepted. Wallace backhanding it ahead. That's broken up. Thorne deflects it forward for Harmer. Puck comes into the zone. Winter flips it forward. Blue Water wasn't able to keep it in. Brumwell cross for Taya Wallace into the zone. Here's Wallace, flip to the middle for Brumwell. Deflected down behind the net. France turned over. Puck comes out to the point. Here's Willard. Played off the boards, down behind the net. Gets past Schinner. Schinner able to get it back for Blue Water. Plays it ahead. And Wallace was able to keep it in the zone. Here's France up on the blue line, and that one will come out with 17:54 to go in the third period. Off the face-off, Charette. Gonna come to the middle. Charette has speed into the zone. Takes the shot off the crossbar. Rebound back on the point. One-timer, Willard blocked. Great look there for Adrielle Charette. Puck knocked free by Keller. Blue Water able to get it. Morehouse tips it back down the other way. Good length of the ice. Icing waved off. Here's Charette. Played up ahead. McKay tips it forward for France. Back the other way, Sadie France into the zone. Pinned to the boards. McKay to France, trying to center for Keller. Knocked down, comes out to the point, and out of the zone. 7, and that hit France. Sonia Meta gets it into the zone, offside waved off. Down behind the net, Harbeck pushed into the boards, now Belmore. There with the puck played around, knocked down by Alcock, grabbed by Meta. Sent across, one-timer, Severn denied. Rebound Severn. That comes out of the zone, tipped ahead by Moore, and maybe a 2-on-1 with Alcock. Here comes Moore, and up the wing, takes the shot, it goes over top of the net. Beezer across for Schinner. Schinner will send it into the zone. 7 to Meta. Out for it, Severn across. Piper 7. Up ahead, Larman. Larman to the middle, got past Harbeck. Grabbed there by Schinner, she'll play it ahead. Winter backhands it back into the zone. Beezer up ahead for Harmer. Beezer gets it back, plays it to Schinner. 4 minutes gone by here in the third, still 4-1 in favor of the Sharks. Harmer deflects it around, gets the puck back, laid down behind the net. Dalfort knocked around, flipped out of the zone, kicked ahead by Wallace, and that will be icing with 15:41 to go. Puck comes to the middle, Morehouse knocks it free. Here's a chance, denied by Maxwell. A big save there to keep this game at 4-1. Willard around and gets past Charette. Keller up to the point. Here's a chance. Oliver deflected and wide of the net. Here's Thorne now trying to wrap it around. Puck comes to Morehouse and sent down to the corner for Willard. Willard back the other way for McKay. McKay getting around Morehouse. Oh, she'll go. McKay into the zone already with 1 goal. Knocked down into the corner. McKay to the point. Willard across. Charette one-timer. That goes wide of the net. Rebound McKay. Comes up, tried to go down for Keller. That's intercepted by Morehouse, who gave it right back to McKay. To the point now, Willard. Willard, Charette, down low, Keller. She has 2. Backhand, stopped by Taff. Rebound McKay, stopped as well. McKay now puts it out front for France. Couldn't get a stick on it. And Blue Water will go back the other way. Into the zone, Richardson pinned to the boards. Keller and Thorne collide there. France gets it back, plays it to Keller. And Keller flipped ahead. McKay couldn't knock it down. Grabbed there by Charette. Charette looking for Keller. That's intercepted. Charette off the boards into the zone. Puck comes back out the other way. Here's Severn. Sharks by 3. Meta. Coming through the middle. Tried to push it to Swanson. Got past her. Swanson tips it down behind the net. Larman trying to put it out front. Maybe a chance for Swanson here. Stopped there by Taff with 13:55 to go in the third period of this one. Off the face-off, Alcock behind the net. Doc Stater coming out the wing, tried to get out of the zone, knocked down by Severn, maybe a 2-on-1. Severn takes the shot, stopped by Taff, and a whistle with 13:41 to go. Off the face-off, Winter taken down, or goes down, and now back the other way. Schinner cross, collision there between Meta. Puck comes to the middle now. Brumwell deflects it into the zone. Side waved off, puck comes out of the zone. 7, gets it to Winter. Played across for Wallace, she'll get it into the zone, it goes in on net, and Taff will make the save with 13:15 to go. off the face-off right on net. Taff will make the save. Off the draw, Cosgrave takes the shot again, and then Taff again with the save. France wins it, battle for it, knocked free. Back the other way, here comes Blue Water through the middle. Chance for Van Bakel, got past the defense, in a shot, stopped by Maxwell. And she's able to keep it out of the net as she was sliding backwards there with 12:55 to go. Willard pushing it ahead. Here's France back the other way, finding Keller. Keller up the wing into the zone, gets it to the middle. Here's McKay. And McKay, and net came off as France was coming around. Don't know if she ran into it or Taff maybe backing up. Puck ended up all the way back down the other way of the ice, so they have to grab it and regroup. And will be Morehouse and France on the draw, won by Sadie France. Puck goes down behind the net. Keller tripped up. Comes back to the point. Willard trying to work around all. Played down to the corner. Keller up the wing. It comes back to Willard. Played down low behind the net. Here's Charette. Keller backhanded down behind the net. Grabbed by Keller. Backhanded down low. McKay gets it up to the point. Charette off the boards. McKay tried to knock that one down. It's broken up. It comes around. Muldowney. She'll flip it ahead. Deflects down the ice. Charette going to be there for the Sharks. She'll play it back the other way. Here's Minton. Across the Dockstader. Puck comes to the middle. Into the zone. Alcock takes the shot. Stopped by Maxwell. 11:43 to go in the third period. Off the face-off. Sharks going the other way. Here's Swanson into the zone, trying to work around the defender, got taken down and drew a penalty in. The Sharks are going back to the power play. Olivia Minton to the box as the Sharks power play goes back to work. Barrie power play 2 for 4 on the afternoon with a pair of power play goals from Jenny Keller. Severn working through the middle, got taken down. Puck comes down low. Swanson back to the point. Seven. Swanson coming up on the point again. Simone Swanson across for Meta. Missed that one, sent down the other way. Meta got a tip on it. Ryle catches up to it, trying to work around Seven. That's broken up. Here's Severn back the other way. Severn weaving around Ryle. Now gets it through. Here comes Severn. Takes the shot. Stopped by Taff. Great look there for the Sharks captain. She's pinned to the boards. Swanson down low for Harbeck. Harbeck battling with Beezer. Puck knocked free. Kaya Harbeck behind the net. With 1:10 to go in this power play. Cosgrave to the middle. Harbeck deflected it. Wallace tried to come into the zone, but comes out. Here's Cosgrave. Back the other way. Trying to fight off pressure. That's knocked down, and she was offside. 10:23 to go. 50 seconds left in the power play. Off the draw, Dion to Cosgrave. Sent into the zone, stopped by Tav. Rebound Wallace. Spins back, 40 seconds to go. Cosgrave. Wallace. Now Cosgrave. Comes down low, takes it. Shot stopped by Tav with 10:04 remaining. .30 seconds left in the power play. That's cleared down the length of the ice. Maxwell leaves it for Charette. Joel Charette up ahead for Willard. A big collision there. In the zone. Hopefully Charette's okay after that one. Blue Water's got a break now back the other way off of it. But the pass misses Thorne. And Maxwell will cover with not even 40 to go. Looked like Charette and Richardson, I think it was, just ran into each other there. So 7 seconds left in the power play. That's pretty much going to do it. 7, trying to work it ahead. That's intercepted. Back the other way. Here comes Alcock, a chance. Stopped by Maxwell. Rebound. Up to the point. Comes out. Dockstader gets into the zone. Here's Meta. To McKay. Sharks unable to score on that power play, but now only 9 minutes left in this game. Trying to kill it down and hold on to this 3-goal lead and get back into the win column. Minton across. Dockstader, a shot deflected. And that goes wide of the net. Van Bakel with a chance there. That's flipped down the other way, potentially icing. Keller trying to beat her out. But Dockstader gets in front of her with 8:52 to go. Off the face-off behind the net. France. Comes player to the boards. Here's McKay. McKay works it back to 7. Play it up ahead. Dockstader. Cross for Minton. And then Minton off the boards, sent forward and deflected into the zone. Here's Meta up to the middle, deflected by France, grabbed by Keller. Jenny Keller back the other way, just flips it in and will head off on a change. Taft leaves it behind her own net. Puck sitting there. Beezer gets it up ahead. That's deflected. Severn a shot. Stop there. Beezer puts it down behind the net. Puck floated up ahead and out of the zone. Severn for Dion. Plays it forward. Tipped into the zone by Harbeck. Beezer around. Back the other way. He's sent the other way by Schinner down the length of the ice. Icing will be waved off here. Dion pinned into the boards. Official went down there. There's Ryle. Taken down to the ice by Keller. Severn and Richardson battling for it. Severn wants a penalty. She's not going to get it. Richardson for Ryle down low. Wallace takes her out, and the Sharks will get a penalty here. Taylor Wallace going to the box for that trip. Sorry, a cross check. So the Blue Water power play is 1 for 4 on the evening. I have a discussion here. The one official went off the ice after he stumbled there. All right, here we go. Blue Water power play is 1 for 4 on the evening. We are an official short 4 now. Muldowney through the middle. Here comes Blue Water back the other way. That's knocked down. Morin to the middle. Drops it back to the point. Muldowney. Sent it across Alber. Muldowney. Sent down low to the quarter. Belmore. Out to the point. Alber. Pass across. Muldowney down low. Here's a chance for Alcock. Stopped by Maxwell and cleared back the other way. Muldowney played forward, deflected into the zone by Morin. Minute 13 left in the power play. Puck comes out to the point. Here's Beezer, just offside. 6:29 to go, minute 8 on the power play. Here's Minton, played across, Beezer. Up the wing, drops it back. Minton to the middle, deflected into the zone. This puck comes back the other way. Meta looking to clear, and she'll get it back down the ice. 50 seconds left in the Blue Water power play as they look to make it a 2-goal game here against the Sharks. Beezer plays it forward. Into the zone. Meta and Van Beek will collide there. 7. Played around, grabbed by Minton. Gets it down low. Farmer sent around, Van Bakel. Find the net, out to the point, Beezer across. Here's Minton. Minton sending it to the net. That's blocked by Meta, trying to push it ahead. Minton keeps it in. Couple players go down. Lots of space now, stepping up. Here's a chip and stopped by Maxwell. Good look there for Van Bakel. Puck behind the net. Farmer off the boards to a point. Can Minton keep it in? She can. Final seconds of the power play. As Wallace ready to go out, and she's back out. It's 5-on-5. Beezer a shot. That's deflected. Backhander to the net, goes just wide. Found McKay. Harmer up to the point. Shot there, sent wide. Meta. Up ahead for McKay. Back the other way. Here go the Sharks. Maddie McKay into the zone, working around Minton, getting it down to the corner. Let's play it up ahead. Thorne knocked down. Gets it out of the zone. Here's Thorne playing it forward. Intercepted. Back the other way. Here comes Dion. 4:39 to go. Deflected around a couple times. Knocked to the middle. Cosgrave keeps it in. Or gets it out, sorry. Puck goes back down the other way. Here's Dion. Around the boards. Swanson gets it out of the zone. Dockstader. Puck comes around. Here's Larman to the middle. May Severn. Back the other way. Severn gets it into the zone. Works around the defense. Here's Severn, a chance. Stopped by Taft. Rebound stopped as well. And a whistle with 4 minutes to go. Final 4 minutes here from East Bayfield. Albert sent up ahead for Charette. Spinning back, flipping it forward. Bromwell trying to knock it into the zone, and that deflects in. Puck comes around. Maxwell leaves it for Willard. Debbie Willard up the wing. Bromwell taken down. Joey Winter back across for Charette. Flipped up ahead, down the length of the ice. Taft has to grab it, has to cover it. And an offensive own draw coming for the Sharks. Off the face-off, Minton pushing it ahead, grabbed by France. City France gives off 7, a chance deflected and wide of the net. That's floated back down the other way. Icing already waved off. 7. Working her way around. Grabbed there by Harmer for a second. Meta for McKay. Sent across. Keller into the zone. Keller driving net. Takes shot save. Rebound. Keller couldn't get it free from Taft. Turned over. Here's a chance. Keller stopped again. 2 goals tonight for Jenny Keller and a couple opportunities there at the hat trick. Here's Dion sent into the boards. Taft. Knocked down. Beeser gets it up ahead. Knocked to the middle. Keller gets it down low. Here's McKay. Maddie McKay spinning back to the point. Backhands it down low to Keller. Keller to the middle. Broken up. And Blue Water sends it off the boards and out again. Cosgrave to Dion. Sent ahead into the zone. Sharks will make changes. Blue Water will make changes. Here's Van Bakel. Coming up on the final 2 minutes of this one. The Sharks have done a good job closing this one out here through the first 18 minutes of the period. We'll see if they can hold on for 2 more. They got a 3-goal lead as they look to get back in the win column. It's Cosgrave. It comes up the boards out of the zone. Here's Richardson, a chance. Works to the middle. Richardson gets around, takes the shot that goes over top. Bound back to the point, sent down low. Richardson has the only goal for Blue Water. Puts it out front for Thorne. Really a good look there. Richardson back on the point now. Schinner gets it down low. Now up to the point again. Schinner steps up, takes the shot, deflected wide. Rebound Cosgrave coming up the wing. Floated back the other way for Swanson. Swanson deflects it into the zone. 1:20 to go. Schinner nearly overskated that one. Now she'll get it out back the other way down the length of the ice for an icing with 1:12 to go in the third period. So for the Sharks, they'll move on after this game. One more game on the weekend. Play the Oakville Hornets tomorrow in a rematch of a game from about a month ago where the Sharks, they put up 50 shots on net, but they got goalied in the end and lost that game 2-1. Here's a chance for Winters, denied. Puck comes loose, out to the point. Willett steps up and shoots. That's knocked down. And the puck comes free and out of the zone. Final minute of the third here from East Field. Shred off the boards. Up ahead for Brumwell. Chipped into the zone. Morehouse spins back, gets it to Alberg. Alberg back in her own end. Fights off Winter. Lost it though to Brumwell. Abby Brumwell spins back, gets it to the middle. Here's Winter, takes the shot, stopped by Taft. Rebound out to the point for Willard. Down low, Wallace gets a tip on it. 3 W's out there for the Sharks right now. Willard, Wallace, and Winter. There's Charette, trying to get around Morehouse. Well, couldn't get it either. Puck sent down the length of the ice again for an icing with 18 seconds to go in the third period for Blue Water. They'll move on after this game, a matchup with the Central York Panthers tomorrow. The Panthers have been one of the best teams in the U22 Elite League this season, so it'll be interesting to see how Blue Water can match up with them and try and get a win to close out the weekend. 15 seconds to go. Puck goes down to the corner. Alberg plays it around for Mull Downey. She'll send it out back the other way. Blue Water, they're just going to flip it in and close this game out. Charette will grab it, and that will do it. So it's a 4-1 win for the Barrie Sharks. 2 goals for Keller, a goal for McKay, and a goal for Sonia Meta. Riley Maxwell had another great game in that. And the Barrie Sharks will move on to a matchup tomorrow with the Oakville Hornets well, I was on my own today, so not for anyone. My name is Josh McCann. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.